All right, hey everyone. Welcome to another Will Witch RP Live Play TTRPG session. This one is a little bit new. We've got a lovely cast of people here, and I'm just going to be doing a lot of the technical stuff. I'll leave a lot of the creative stuff over to Sekrain. But,
Ah,
quick thing, what is Will Witch RP? Well, that's me. I am a typical game master and storyteller here on Will Witch RP, and Lachlan, our writer and producer for the company, a couple who love sharing stories, so much so that we quit our day jobs and created our own company to create high quality and exciting TTRPG experiences full time, and then share them with everyone here. So, we do have amazing people who have joined us on our grand endeavor. If you'd like to play alongside them, alongside us, you're more than welcome to join. You can ask in chat or hop over to our Discord to find out more information. Speaking of the amazing players, quick introduction for not just me and Little Witch RP, but we do also have Sirenscape, who provides all of our background music, our ambiance, all sorts of background sound effects. It's fantastic, affordable. You can find out more about them at sirenscape.com. But that's enough about me. I'm going to toss it over to Sekrain to introduce what we got going on tonight.
ah, ah. Jesus, that's a hell of a words per second there. Yeah, thank you so much for that introduction.
That's the
Hello.
fastest I've ever heard her talk.
Yeah,
Oh, I could
good
get a
practice on
lot
that.
faster.
No, don't Eminem us right now, please. Hello everyone. Then, well, we're gonna be starting this little, well, continuing this little, this adventure that here our four players and me will be doing introductions in a moment about that. But first, starting off with what this is. Homeward is a actual live play of Starfinder, where the basic story is our four players and their characters wake up without a memory of who they were before, and well, as the title says, they are on a mission to make their way back home. And well, we do have I do have a bit of a recap, which for you guys, Kristen, Sky, Ray, hey, you're totally welcome to just interrupt and be like, "Hey, this you missed on the recap, because recap, not recap, on the recap." Then I'm gonna just be telling you about what has been happening on the story, where we are in the point, and then we're gonna start with a few like Q&A questions for both the chat and also between you guys. I do have some questions for you guys, but that will be a bit for later, okay? So, to start off with, this story began with our four main characters waking up with no memory of themselves or recollection of where they are. They appear inside these metallic corridors and with corpses rising up and quickly decomposing to become undead creatures, finding dozens and dozens more of survivors of all species and ages, and the people that we eventually get to know as Kasinkara, S, Amos McIntosh, and Nulodius McPherson make their way to the bridge. And with this small gathering of other crewmates there, they figured that the situation they were encountering, the ship they are in, named Dralark, had barely enough power to move out and around, and the star they were orbiting was being slowly consumed by necrotic energy, that which it was being expelled, causing the corpses inside the ship to rise up over and over. Heading to engineering on the main core of the ship, our brave crewmates face an unknown wielder of what seemed to be shadow magic. And in the fight, you manage to force it out and to teleport away, giving you enough time to stabilize the core and just jump into the drift to a safe spot. From there, well, out of immediate danger and without a captain in the ship, our valiant members of this group began recovering, well, small pieces of who they were, and again in more or less the same order of who we were mentioning. Kasinkara, a ship counselor with apparently some family left back home, Nelorius McPherson assigns Breach Officer with Whispering Shadows. I forgot how to pronounce the word. I was just reading it. Beckoning? Yeah, Beckoning. From the Great Void. Amos McIntosh, a reforming pirate that was beginning to adjust to a new life. And S, who's just seemed to have a shady profession and their motives yet
Did you say
unknown.
shady or shitty?
Shady. Shady.
A pirate, but
Shady.
sort of a bad one. Not a very
Uh,
good pirate.
But you have heard of me.
Shady. I have not dropped a single curse word yet.
Well, I was just asking because it picked up
It definitely picked up on.
shitty.
No, I said shady. Well, either way. I lost where I left.
I'm sorry. I
As being a shady background.
With
Yeah.
no motives. The crew overall in the ship was not faring any better, with many helping wherever they could and however they were able, with trying to pierce the memories, piece them together, and mourn more than just the fellow crewmates that were turned undead. Soon after that, and as you guys are making your way back to the Pack World, which is your home, the Drallard picks a suspicious distress signal that, on closer inspection, turned out to be a trap laid by some sort of scavengers. Their ships being more of a makeshift attempt of a spacefaring vessel that you managed to very cleverly evade, and with more danger now lurking around them, the crew and our heroes began to look for solutions for the ship. And thanks to both the efforts and fiddling of S, the ship's onboard AI was reawakened, albeit in a state of immaturity, being closer to a child rather than a fully functional, artificially created adult. The action of S put the ship in disarray, as it required a complete reboot of the systems and caused turmoil inside it, along with some friction, specifically with one of the commanding officers of the Skyfire Legion detachment that is on board the ship. Now, with this new crewmate on board the ship that has access to literally everything in the ship, the bridge crew began mentioning that possibly Kasinkara should be the one taking lead, as they require a captain. And Kasinkara accepted. Not fully saying like, "Hey, let's do this public," but also unbeknownst to the rest of the bridge crew, Kay asked S for them to be their second in command.
Not
Meanwhile,
not necessarily like that. It was more of like I need somebody to check me in case I get power hungry. And that's what S is gonna do.
You know it.
Gonna check you with a gun on the back of your head.
Always has been.
Was S the villain of the campaign? Always has been.
Oh, it's
Well,
Honestly,
and
of anybody in our crew being like the villains of our campaign, it could be S and Mac. Just like Noel and I
Really?
are just like random schmucks trying to do our jobs. And then we have these guys that are also random schmucks, but they're the random
Competent
schmucks that
schmucks.
might kill you.
They're competent schmucks.
Exactly.
also
mean-
just put it at the two androids of the group and went, yeah, the evil ones.
I mean, one of them was a pirate. The other one,
We still don't
Actually-
know.
I'm not saying it's a wrong assumption. I'm just
One
saying
person
that it's
in the
really
group knows.
kind of.
One person out of the core group knows what S did prior.
Oh man.
Well, meanwhile, while that whole situation of the AI being reawakened and the bridge deciding who's going to be or assuming the roles of the captain, the Drollark face a situation of having low supply on both fuel and the components to create, no, with water and components to create more fuel. And after the team, our 4 members here and 2 more crewmates, did some coal mining operation in the system they just arrived, and the crew was taking care of more of the water situation. We currently find ourselves with a small abandoned mining outpost that was picked with the sensors in the same system. Many questions still left unanswered. A possible pirate crew roaming around the ship with maybe or not memories of who they were before. And shadow in the void lurking, and that is where we would retake our story. But before we do that, and to continue on with this, I would like to all of you roll initiative.
I
Okay.
didn't pull out my dice tonight.
Just roll
Whoa,
roll a
hold on.
d20. Roll a d20. Clear normal d20. And let's see who will be the first.
Ah, I see. I would like to say, Sekran, there's this fun moment every time you start Homeward where you come to the moment where if this was Dungeons and Dragons and we were a competent party, you would say our heroes or something, and you go, our 4
People.
crewmates. There's always this pregnant
this
pause.
pause.
You're like, can I call them heroes? Probably not.
No,
And I-
definitely not.
And it's not
I-
that we're incompetent. It's not that we're incompetent.
Oh no,
It's
you are.
purely that our motives are very questionable.
I think the motives in all of you are you share a very specific motive, which is surviving. But also I'm thinking, okay, we have a pirate, a criminal,
Former pirate.
a scientist that probably has delusions of grandeur, but also hears whispers from the void, and a
Doesn't every
psychologist.
scientist have illusions of grandeur and voices in their head?
Probably.
And a
Good
psychologist.
scientists.
So, and I'm not saying that a psychologist cannot be a hero. It's just
I'm not
it's just a
saying
person.
that a psychologist can't be a hero.
I'm
I'm just
biased,
the
okay?
only one. I'm the only one that's like a normal person because I don't have delusions of grandeur.
And she's a 4-year-old bug.
I
No.
am 7, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, a
I
7-year-old
have
bug.
7 on my character sheet.
That's something
The
that has
other
not come up.
pilot is 4.
Oh, right. Sorry. I confused you with the other bug. I'm sorry.
Wow, rude.
They're very young. Either way, what each one got on their roll, on their d20 roll. Okay. Guy.
17.
16.
Right. Okay. So we start with you, Sky. Introduce yourself,
I wanna go
your
first.
character, like the class, race, and what you have found about them.
Hi, I'm Macro Sky, or just Sky. I play Amos McIntosh, a ridiculously tall android with pink hair, who is a former pirate, and who was the pilot of a ship called the Verdant Sun. Where is my notebook? He is now, I guess, by default, the main pilot of the Drellark. Because he seems to be the most competent pilot there is. And it really
He
is the only
seems
thing
to
he's
be.
good at.
No, Amos is good at engineering too.
Amos is an operative at level 5. Like I said, he is an android with a space pirate theme. And he is unaware of most things that go on. He's smart, but does not words good.
I feel that.
He's recently found out that there are other members of the Verdant Sun aboard, and they are starting to remember things, like how they were told to take over the Drowlark for some reason from their captain, and they failed on that mission, which is how they got arrested in the first place. He also has a replaced arm.
Still haven't figured out what happened with that arm.
I
Maybe
know
so.
it was removed by one of the Legionnaires. I think it was Magon that took my arm. I'm pretty sure I've been noting. Yeah, Magon. Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.
Okay. Next one in the initiative order would be Ray.
I got a
Same
6.
question.
I got 16.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's Faye.
16. I confused them.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one then would be Faye. Yeah, introduce yourself, which you kind of already did, but still introduce yourself, your character, and what you have found about them.
Yeah, so, I'm Faye. You might know me around. I play S, a android, though I don't think he's really shared too much about that. S looks fairly human, most often, but doesn't really talk too much about himself. Pronouns for S are he, they, so you will hear me fluctuate. I think, S has been shook up since waking up with no memories, and just taking things one step at a time. Some more fraught than others. We don't know too much except that he's really good with computers, and has a shady past. He definitely has been around more dead bodies than just what has been happening on in the Drollark. He's been around, and he's making friends, I would say. I don't really know
Definitely
that.
friends with Megan.
Oh yeah, no, he does not. As anyone who has seen or will see the story unfold, he does not care at all for the Legionnaires. And makes that known. But he does like Vahibel, and they are coffee friends.
I think we're all coffee with Bahia
I
by
mean,
now.
Bahibel is just breach crew. It's
Yeah,
part of the Drowlark, and yeah.
yeah.
Hey.
Does
ne-
Bahibel like us yet?
I think he appreciates you guys, and it's like, okay, they are good at what they're doing.
So he just likes S and tolerates the rest of us.
What more?
Oh,
He
could I
probably scares them.
I'm sure
He scares us
that
all.
S is
I-
tolerated.
I think one by one, I would say with S is like, okay, this is someone that will get the job done. I can rely on them. He sees with respect and somewhat fear. K. He looks at Amos with like, okay, I know how we got this person in. Friendly a pirate, okay. As long as he flies good and doesn't shoot us in the back, I
Yeah, that's
cannot
reasonable.
complain. And with Melodius, he's like, okay, he's part of the bridge crew, so I should just accept him because it's just part of the crew. And probably work together at some point. I will remember memories about that, but it's just more worried on keeping the logistics of the ship going. And Ray, would be your turn now. Introduce yourself,
Someone?
character, and what you have found about them.
Perfect. My name is Ray. I'm a geologist. I love my cat and long walks on the beach. My
What's your star
character is
sign?
piss. My my character is Melodius McPherson, who is a Demaya Lashunta, formerly and now what is classified in Starfinder as a Borai, which is an undead. And I began this adventure as Melodius McPherson, dying, and being resurrected by our dear S.
That's not going to be lasting trauma.
That's surely this will not come back to haunt him later. On account of the whole dying thing, Nelodius has a very unnatural, very waxen complexion. He has the classic Lashunta antennae, but one is a little bit shorter than the other. And he wears a lab coat and very fancy, dapper little suit. He has discovered so far that he was involved in scientific research on the Drawlark. He is a bridge officer. He specializes in botany, and at one point got a doctorate in botany. He does not remember going to school, but he has the degree, so that's what counts. And he has spent the majority of our adventure so far decomposing bodies in the biocomposter, trying to genetically modify square melons because they grow more effectively, and using magic, using magic and real life science to make a solar still in the mystic and scientific portion of the Drawlark to solve our water problem. Oh yeah, he's a mystic. I don't think I mentioned his class. So he's a level 5 mystic, which is spooky magic guy. Other fun facts: he wears a floral purple silk kimono when he's in his private quarters, and like myself, has a bum right leg. Unlike myself, his cane has a sword in it.
We
That's
should get
him.
you a cane sword.
You
I
should
want a
maybe
cane
get-
sword.
Yeah, you should get one.
We need to get Ray a cane sword.
Don't you need to have like a concealed weapon carry license for that though?
Yes.
You do not.
Oh shoot!
It depends on where you live, actually.
It depends on your jurisdiction. I do not. The cane I currently have, though, folds up, so it's very exciting when I open the back of my car and it just launches itself out and like turns into a cane, which is cool. But I want the cane sword.
And Nolodius also hears whispers from the void, from
How could I
his
forget?
space.
How could I forget? Like every scientist, Nelodius
good
McPherson
scientist.
has illusions of grandeur and also hears voices. He has recalled bits and pieces of his past and how these voices he hears, really just one voice, has affected him. And he is still working to piece together what these new summons from the void mean. Ooh.
Okay. And
Ooh.
sorry. Lastly, but not least, oh, your name and your character's name both start with K. Actually,
You call me Theta. Thank you. I am Theta
Yeah.
here.
Theta.
They
Introduce
came
yourself,
out swinging.
Yo.
Sorry, I remembered something completely off topic, so let me get back on topic with my brain. I am Theta, I play Kasankara, and I am a Shirin. We are all level 5. I am a... What am I?
Envoy.
An envoy. Which is basically like a D&D bard without the music. But I am very good at talking to people and scaring people. I have scared the bridge crew multiple times. Not intentionally the first time. The second time was more like a angry mother scolding their child. And Kay's whole concept when we first started this was I am a psychologist therapist, and I do food art for my hobby. And then we discovered that I have a pet named Squishy, which is this little amorphous ooze that I feed coffee cups to. Not the good coffee cups, he gets the cheap coffee cups. Because we have to keep the good coffee cups for actual coffee. So far in Kay's memories, it's been rather pleasant for the most part. Except for, the parents fighting thing. But unlike everybody else, I'm just your normal bug. We've discovered that bugs cannot in fact cry. But they can feel pain. And Kay has felt pain.
We
Yeah,
watched
You have
the first-
discovered
Damn.
a lot of
We
things
watched the
about
first 2 seasons. You know that there's a lot of bug googling, and that my search history is hilarious.
I believe that we don't have a lot of the first 2 seasons archived. I think we have a lot of lost episodes.
Yeah, the first season I think
Oh,
it
it's
is.
sad.
The second season is somewhat lost. Yeah.
I will also note that the cat you saw roaming around is a regular here. His name is Ryu. We also have another cat that is a regular here, that is Ray's cat, and
Mr. Mew.
Mr. Mew. We will always showcase cats and try to
Yeah.
keep their butts from giving you the one-eyed octopus.
The asterisks.
We'll definitely see Max more often as well since the new setups.
I have a door behind me. You won't see my cat as often unless he's actually in the room with me. So
I have no cats. Yet.
Yeah.
Either way, let's
Be
go
a
for the
crazy
second.
cat man.
Let's go for the second question. And this is go for the group. Whoever wants to pick it first, go ahead. What have you learned about what happens to the ship? You know, the little pieces, and what are the theories you have on lost memories?
Sakrine, you should have given us a list of the questions you were going to ask
I
instead
know.
of blindsiding us
thought.
with them, so that
Oh,
we could
no, I'm
actually
gonna
have an
blind-
answer.
I'm gonna blindside you. Like any DM, I'm gonna blindside you in the spot and be like, okay, here's what you have to do.
immediately, here's the questions.
All right.
Here's the
uh,
question.
Sorry, I was so excited that I heard theories, and I'm like, I know that I've written some down in my notes that I totally forgot the question that was asked.
What have you learned about what happens to the ship, and what are your theories to, you know, why you have no memories at the moment? Who is to blame? Which that might be a question that I should have put. Like, who do you blame?
Who do you blame?
Sekrin. I blame Sekrin.
S doesn't have any theories. Faye, however,
Yeah, as players.
as players, there is a from all the way back at the end of season 1. We had that little cutscene with the star dying and the ghost ship that wasn't really a ghost ship. And I'm very much of the idea that I have no idea exactly where they come from, but I have a strong gut feeling that they are Eoxian, and that there is some shit going on there, because undead, and especially when we go into season 2, and we start looking around in the captain's quarters, and we find the weird, sort of necrotized, first officer,
Yeah.
which, adjacent side theory, if we found the first officer in the captain's quarter, I think that if we go into the first officer's quarters, we'll find the
We might
captain.
find the captain. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I just never got around to it.
I wrote that down somewhere. But yeah. But yeah, I think that Eox is involved. That's my leading theory.
Who wants a hug?
Eox is
You
where.
just stepped on my incision.
Oh, Ryu, no.
No. Baby.
Okay. Come on, get down. Get your claw out of my shoulder and get down.
I'm not 100% up on my Starfinder lore. Eox is the world where Borai are from. Is it not?
Eox is, so in terms of the lore, Eox is part of the Pack Worlds, the system. It's sort of the last worlds in the like I think it's Eox and then 2 more worlds, and that's it in terms of like how far from the star. And Eox is a planet that is based around necromancy. It's ruled by liches, by powerful mages. They do a lot of necromancy technology too. So their augmentations that they can give you are very like necrotic based. I think you even can get like 2 heart, like surgery, another heart that will give you some resistances, but it's like a necrotic heart too. And that's where that planet is. Borai can come from many places, but in general, because Eox, it's the planet itself was radiated by war millions and thousands of years ago. I was about to say that in Spanish. Uh, um, the atmosphere itself is not very welcoming, and they are all very all around, just being sort of, I want to say welcoming. Like they won't celebrate that you're undead, but they won't be like trying to hide the fact that they don't care about some areas having life support, because all the people working in there are skeletons and zombies, and they don't need air, so they're
It's
cheap.
efficient.
Yeah, they're very efficient in that way. I don't think they're considered like evil. People still treat them like, oh, it's just the weird place where they do weird stuff, but it's effective. They have their own manufacturing stuff, and yeah, it's very necromancy style. It's
Is
sci-fi necromancy.
okay. I don't mean to be rude. It's saying someone's TV is on in the background, super distracting. Is that me?
It could be, if it's talking, it could be Lachlan. Because again, he's on the other side. I'm not hearing anything from you, Theta, on my side.
Okay. I just wanted to check. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Is the hobby? Maybe.
Yeah, it's most likely because you guys probably won't hear it because Discord has me on push to talk, but because of the thing and my mic setup, I don't have an actual mute on my mic unless I like. Yeah, so
Okay.
Twitch will get all that stuff. The captions will get all that stuff. So it's just it's raid night
Okay.
in WoW, so
You
Yes,
can see
I
the
used
people
to
that
be
play.
that person,
Yeah.
but I have since left.
So
Anyway.
going back, Sky's theory, because I started thinking about this, knowing nothing about Starfinder lore, started thinking as a strategist and how Mac would see this. This ship, the Drellark, has something on it or in it that somebody wants. I don't know what it is, but this ship was hit twice by two different people. At least. It was hit by the Verdant Sun when Mac got onto the ship to raid it. And then it was hit again when we all lost our memories. Somebody else hit us. The best way to get onto a ship is to incapacitate the crew. What better way to incapacitate the crew than to make them forget what's going on?
See, and my thought process on it was that we found something we were not supposed to find. So we got shoved out into deep space and left damaged to rot.
That's also a really strange thing because we're a big ship. Like, if I was to describe the ship, I would almost say it's a colonizing ship.
Don't do anything right now. Just stay right where you're at.
It's we've established it's a research vessel, haven't we? So the possibility that we've run into something we weren't supposed to research feels accurate, feels possible.
From the schematics and how you've seen, the vessel does seem to have, right now a lot of systems are damaged, not fully repaired, but you see there's a lot of advanced sensors. There's a large section dedicated to research. There's a large section just looking to be like assembly areas. It seems like a very self-sufficient ship. So,
So this could just be a deep space mission-oriented ship. Think Star Trek and the 5-year mission.
I've heard of that. It's to boldly go.
Where
To
no one's
explore
gone before.
strange new worlds.
Strange new worlds and civilizations.
Seek out
Yeah,
new
that.
life and new civilizations. I like the theory that we just stumbled upon some unfortunate eldritch
Unfor-
horror out
Yeah,
in deep
unfortunate thing.
Yeah, you
Unfortunate.
would with your
Something we
connection.
weren't supposed to find. So just in general, something we were not supposed to find, something that did not want to be found.
space.
And
But then once we left or got rid of that thing, if that thing has left, it would stop following us. But it hasn't.
not necessarily. Not
Unless-
necessarily because
We never got
now-
rid of it.
Exactly. Whatever we found, we still have on the ship somewhere. We just don't know what it is. It hasn't come up. We've been so busy with survival that we haven't done like a inventory of stuff outside of food, water, gas, people.
Mm-hmm.
And even that inventory of people is very loose because we don't know
we don't
who's
remember everything.
exactly. We don't have the memory. We don't know who's supposed to be there, who's not supposed to be there.
Please ask
There's-
me about the bio
Ask.
poster inventory.
Ask your questions. It's why we're having this episode.
Mm.
What if-
Actually-
what?
Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No. You.
Oh my god, just somebody start talking.
Which character are you... I think I covered a bit of this, but which character are you suspicious of? Either player character, NPC.
The hallway.
God.
The
Yeah, I think we
The
covered this at
hallway.
the end of season 1 too, and our answer was the hallway.
No, that was all just a callback. No, if we're talking about like character suspicions, S obviously suspicious of the Legionnaires. And I think that drives again from his own character. There's things there that they've not worked through yet. And I'm excited for that. As far as player's actually kind of suspicious of the captain. From seeing Kay's memories and things like that, and hearing some of the, we weren't supposed to find something. Like, little sus. Just putting it out there. But do you know who I'm not suspicious of like, at all? Oh, I had his name. Bookstore guy.
Oh, my
Love
friend.
bookstore
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I need him to get that bookstore, honestly. Like, there's no justice until that bookstore is legally his.
I'm gonna be so mad if I
okay.
find that bookstore's not legally his.
So, oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
Barsash.
What has been
Yes.
some of the fun things, challenges you found playing a character who doesn't know who they are? So, that has been a fascinating thing for me because I gave Sekrane a very loose idea. Like, this is what I want to do, and that's it. And then he's come back at me with everything. Whereas some other of our group was like, okay, here's my backstory. Now feed it to me in little chunks and make it crazy.
I don't know who you're talking about, Theta.
Oh yeah, no idea who you're talking about. No, yeah, I think I did almost the same thing as Theta, except I just gave Sekrane the idea of the character along with little bits of backstory that I wanted to throw in there. Like, this is kind of the idea of where I want to go with the backstory, and it said just go loose, go have fun. I don't want to know, because like Mac, I shouldn't know what's happening, what's around the bend here. My reaction should be as honest as his.
I think it's
So
been very fun with my approach because I've known my character, or at least a generalized idea of my character's life before the draw arc, and that memory loss isn't something new to them. They've woken up before as a new person. How many times? Who knows? But that's what that's been something interesting. that getting the sensations and the memories back, and a lot in the first season, there are moments where you'll see my face, like, I, as a player who knows my character, would have this information, but my character doesn't, and I'm so frustrated by it. But yeah, it's an interesting way of, you know, checking yourself for character knowledge versus meta knowledge that I've had a lot of frustration but fun with. Like, yeah, I know this as a player, but does S know this? Experiencing it in the moment.
I think you see me a couple times doing something out of the camera's sight, and then Sekrin will say my name, and then you just see me kind of look up like a deer in headlights, having no idea what's about to happen.
I am one of the ones who created an entire backstory and was like, but I'll pretend I don't know. So I have all this cute little meta knowledge. And it's been somewhat similar to games I have played in the past where my character has a class that they are unaware of, but that I know the rules of, which is sort of how I always play warlocks, and sometimes paladins, is that they are unaware that that is what they are. So it's picking up bits and pieces in context of the game, particularly for Nelodius. He is a terrible man and is a very self-referential person, in that had he the knowledge of it, he would be like, oh, you know, back when I was studying for my doctorate, I did, back when I was doing this, back when I was doing that. So not being able to fall on that as a crutch has been very fun. Because being an academic, he has like these years and years of science behind him, of effort and research and all that he now does not remember. There's some other aspects of that too that have been hinted at a couple of times that I won't spoil, that have been very exciting. But also, it's fun because I gave a skeleton outline of a couple of things I know for sure from Nelodius's past, some things that were pretty well fleshed out, but there's enough gaps in what I told Sekrain that it has been genuinely exciting to find out new things about my own character that I didn't know, like that he was in the bridge crew. I didn't know that, and that was very fun. But yeah, not being able to reference back to previous character knowledge has been challenging. And like, how would I solve this problem? Well, surely I would just look at something I've done in the past. Oh, I can't look at something
wait.
I've done in the past. Has been challenging.
So, for Kay, one of the only things that we actually planned with Sekrain, or that I planned with Sekrain, I should say, was bookstore guy. Because we decided that Kay needed to have somebody that they were friends with that could help them overcome this emotional overwhelming that they were experiencing, but they were unable to really express it outside of Kay goes to her room and has an existential crisis for the next 20 minutes and then goes back to work.
As one does.
As one
Matt
does.
just goes back to his room and smokes a cigarette for a bit, and then leaves.
You chain
back to
smoke.
it.
Kay just sits there and internalizes everything. And
Let's be
so
honest, Matt
having-
doesn't just smoke.
yeah, he chain smokes. So
Drinks, too.
having
Matt is
an
nuts.
NPC that would help Kay express that and then also overcome that in a friendly manner was good. And then we also decided to make that person be able to help the party, which, that being like one of the only things that I planned, was pretty interesting, in that I know Kay had a backstory. I don't know what it is, and learning about it has been really fun.
Yeah, I totally, because like I threw some skeletons at Sekrin, and it's so cool to see them.
Some skeletons at
There's some skeletons at Sekrin, man. Very bony, very pointy, and to see the stuff that's come out, like Mac being treated as a punching bag by the captain and a second-class citizen by the rest of his former crew. I, as a player, knew that, and to see that come to fruition through these flashbacks of when Mac first met the captain of the Verdant Sun, and going through all of that, and then talking to a member of the Verdant Sun and going through her memories, and her telling me about how, in her memories, I'm not treated that well.
So guys, what's the craziest thing that Saccharine has thrown at you? For your backstory specifically.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't have a backstory moment, but I have a moment of Saccharine and someone else in this party scheming together for the most surprising thing that, or shocking thing that has been thrown at me as a player. And that's when I'm the one that finds Melodius dying, dead, and have to bring him back. That was, whew, okay.
That is so funny.
I was not prepared at all. I completely blindsided.
The outline for that was that Ray told me, "Hey, I would like that face character stays me somehow." And I'm thinking, okay, but you're a Borai.
It's just killer.
That means you you were dead at some point. Well, time to get a character dead. 5 minutes into this.
Right out of the
Kinda-
gate.
Open us up with with a character.
Open
death.
up, character death.
So yeah,
Yeah.
nothing quite so surprising with my backstory. Again, I had that written out. I gave it to Saccharine. I was like, do as you will with it. Now, there have been like some twists and turns and character developments out of that. But no, the most shocking, surprising thing to ever happen to me in this game so far is that.
So the first session was hilarious because none of us knew what we were doing with our characters.
I wasn't there for the first session.
You weren't there for the first session. Kay was basically by themselves with some NPCs, and all I had was this character sheet. I've never played Starfinder before, and it says that I have like a ridiculous score in diplomacy. So I'm trying to like calm some people down, and I'm rolling for diplomacy, and he's like, well, what do you do? And I'm just like, I shush them in their brain in a calming manner.
That's right, because you hadn't learned how to speak
I
out loud
forgot.
yet.
Because I couldn't do anything, all I had was Shirin as my language and as part of my choice. And it was just, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. And boom, I'm doing that inside someone's brain.
I'm
And
so
it
sad about
was
that.
with Megan was among the first NPCs that you met in that moment. Like,
Yeah, everybody hates on Megan, but Megan is like my buddy
Megan was I
for the
remember
most
Megan.
part.
I will be real
Yeah.
with you. If someone crept into my brain and went, "Shh, it's okay," I would not feel calm. That would be very, very disconcerting.
So terrified. Yeah.
But if
I
you didn't
think-
Yeah,
know that
but
that was
what if they got a
abnormal?
24 on
Yeah.
their diplomacy roll?
I don't know.
First of all, the roll was real high, so I assume that not only, even if your characters don't remember things, is that like complete empty, like reset back to being born, so you don't know nothing. You still have that ability, even if you don't recall how you're doing it. That's the first thing. Second, as I mentioned, if you don't have memories, would you be worried about like, hey, someone is talking in my brain? It's just like, maybe this is
Yeah.
normal, and then after
Maybe
some
this is
weeks you're
normal.
like you just
That wasn't
sitting
normal.
around, taking your ramen in the ship, and you're like, wait.
Wait a second.
Sakura's
Oh.
definitely thrown some stuff at me that I was like, oh, okay. One of the ones was definitely the introduction of Mac, which I wasn't expecting to go like it did. Because unfortunately for the first session of Homeward, I was sick and could not talk and could not be there, and it was very sad. I was in the second episode. And it just opens with like a BIOS screen inside of Mac's brain that Sigrade basically describes perfectly. And I wasn't expecting that. And then to find out later, I'm wearing a parole anklet that opens my door. That we only found out opened my door like 10 sessions later. And we're not even sure if it did.
That's right, because you had to do a sleepover because you couldn't get into your room.
We couldn't get it. We couldn't find my room. We didn't
You
know if I
didn't-
had
you-
one.
You didn't have a card to enter the room compared to the others.
Didn't
so
have a
you were
card.
like, well,
We
you were
had no idea. So I just
sleeping in
stayed
S
with
couch.
S.
Yeah.
Finding out that Mac was a prisoner, because that's what we thought at the beginning, was completely surprising. Finding out that I was a prisoner on the Drelark because I had tried to take over the Drelark forcefully was even more surprising.
One of the things that I've really liked that Sekrain has done is made the memories interactable for us.
Oh yeah, I love that
Is-
shift.
It's just for that, even though you guys don't have your backs, I do know that you know your backstory. That's choices your character have done, and I'm thinking, okay, I can just describe it. No,
Even
No,
when
no,
I
it's-
go full on like deer in the headlights blue screen, my brain is not functioning. Like, dunk. Just.
Yeah, during the car chase, I think. Yeah, the car chase with Mac when he first meets the captain of the Drelark.
Yeah,
I wasn't
like
expecting a car chase.
the most recent memory for S with the two goons, that was so much fun to play out, honestly, and to see a little bit more brutal side to my character that doesn't often come out.
also letting you guys being interacting as something interactable. I feel is a way for you guys to tell me what you think your character backstory was in that moment. Like that tells like how they were thinking in maybe that moment, what was happening, a bit about that, connecting who they were before and who are now. And it makes that memory yours instead of just me telling you, hey, this happened on you. It's like this is what is happening, what you did in that moment.
There's a lot that Sekrain's thrown at us, and we've just been like, oh, okay.
I personally really liked the end of season 1 where you had the cutaway with everything. We had two very different reactions. You had two people flipping the fuck out,
Let me out. I think it was me and you.
and then and then you had me and Ray were just very stoically. Yes.
Yeah, it was me
This
and
is a
Faye
thing.
frantically freaking out and taking notes.
I can tell because my notes, as I was looking through them earlier, get like really, really choppy.
Really weird and like
Um,
freaking out. And it looks like there's some like I've run my hand across a couple of them, and I can tell that that's the end of season 1.
All right. Well, I do have to step in here. Our ads are about to come up here for our first ad break. So stick around with us for our ads. Ads are really important for us here at Little Witch RP. They help keep our games affordable. But during our ad break, while you're sticking around, brainstorm some questions for us. Bring your favorite ideas to the table. We'll have more to talk about soon. So stick around with us. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to this small QA. We do have As you can see, a few of technical situations, but don't worry. For the moment, Theta will has taken a little break, but we'll continue with the rest of the party members.
Yes,
Hey, I am in
now
Melodious
two
place.
people, and
Um,
Sekren is now playing Melodious, and
yes,
Ray
I
is a
am right
ghost.
now. So, questions from chat. If you see me leaning a bit too much, people in the camera, that's what I'm doing. Doing improv as your character is fun when you know what the relationship is between you and the other characters or thing you're interacting with. Without having that information, is it difficult to do yes and? I mean, what do you guys say?
Um, sometimes it's difficult to yes and when you know that there's a relationship, but you don't have that relationship. Like, Mac, most recently talking to the former crew member, he was a little hostile, mostly because he did not trust her in the slightest. But he knows that there was a relationship there, so it's kind of, for him, I guess it's a little hard to play off of that. I know that Mac is not the best example of a character who's like knows and understands the relationships that he has. Hi, buddy.
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I personally have not had the difficulties because the thing is, if I don't remember my past, I will simply make it up as we go. And that includes like redefining relationships with other characters. Because if there's a character past relationship that is fully unrecalled, it's almost like it didn't happen. You know, it's like a whole new blank slate. But I will say my favorite aspect of that has been the uh, the slow burn love triangle we've got.
I love the slow burn love triangle that's been going on. It's so funny. By the end of
Because-
this, they're gonna be a poly couple, and we've just never seen it coming.
Welcome to the polycule. That's particularly fun because Faye and I had discussed some character connections between S and Nelodius prior to the. I'm watching the Twitch and it is an experience going on over here.
It's amazing. I'm loving this.
Faye and I had discussed connections between S and Nelodius prior to the game starting, and it's been exciting seeing that play out as like the two of us remember what
Yeah.
the two of us remember it, but the characters themselves don't. Sorry, Mr. Mew would love to contribute to this conversation.
Oh, Mr. Mew, I love you.
Mew.
Come up here, baby.
Yeah.
You got your pants
Robin's
back
just
on.
laying at my feet now.
Yeah, that has been a lot of fun. Faye, do you have any?
Yeah, I would say that it's actually harder for me to do, to ignore the past that has been created rather than to build off of things that aren't there, because that's kind of just how playing has worked for me since I started RPGs and things like that. Even before playing into TTRPGs and stuff like that, I was in like the Omegle and the random chat generator RP areas. So like I went in and I'm building out everything as we go. So yes, and is a second nature to me. I there is a preconceived background, and if it changes right then and there, and I'll make a note. But with having to be like, there's what we had in the background. Now, how do I have that kind of play into what it actually is, and not have it be like overcoming everything? Like, have it be an organic sort of, that's a flicker of a memory of something, and then play it off of the character interactions that they have going on now and their current relationship and how they interact with each other. I think that's more difficult. Because
Oh, Mr. Mew's a bandana.
yeah, it's easy enough to be like, you're new, I don't know you, but I can see that there's interest on your side in me, and like with Mac and Ash, versus with Null and Ash of, there's something there that I don't know, and I don't know if it's actually something else or something more.
Mhm. I have
By the
very
way-
much enjoyed the unnamed hostility between Mac and
Oh,
Brent.
Mac and Lord.
Yes!
For reasons that
funny,
neither
it's
of them
just
are
completely
entirely
unnamed
sure.
hostility that just happened. But can I just say, like, thank you to FaZe Chat for coming up with the plot point of the two pink androids being together, because that's where that came from. It was all FaZe Chat.
Yeah, hostility between you two has been somewhat fun to watch. It's like, okay, how things are gonna be going.
I'll teach you
And
how to shoot if you teach me how to read has been one of my favorite things.
I forgot that you're illiterate.
He's not illiterate, he reads on a 5th grade level. We've established
Functionally
this.
illiterate.
and also as a game master just being like, okay, there have been purposely things that I put there or thought like this, like, okay, let me give some gunpowder to this side of the discussion. Let me give you
Build
something
a
here.
planetary drill, but I can't read on a 6th grade level.
Yeah, it's just finding things where I can place something for you guys to use against each other, or like to build an understanding between each of you. Like moments of like, oh wow, you are good at this. Like
Oh,
I have
wow.
respect for that. But also just every now and then be like, hey, he has turned your
You
back.
suck.
It's like, hey, look at the player. He turned your back against you. Here's a hammer. Have fun.
It's also just fun and refreshing to get to play a bastard because I chronically play Goody Two Shoes characters. It's
I
just very
never play
refreshing
Goody
to
Two
play an
Shoes.
unpleasant guy.
I always play unpleasant people and I love it.
So next question. Have there been many what the hell moments? Hey.
Yeah, the entirety of the game. Next question.
There's one moment that specifically comes to mind, and it's just this whole session of the combat with the abandoned ship and the squid.
I think that was a bit of a me not explaining it
Oh,
properly.
it
Had it in my
definitely
head.
wasn't a squid, but in my brain it looks like a squid, and it's definitely not.
No. Yeah, that was a
For
one of the
sure
things
it's
that
not a squid.
you guys in my head was like, what the hell?
It's not a squid. It's not a squid, Sky. It's not a squid.
No. There's been two moments. That the way you solve that, and the
The venting
A
of
bit
the
of-
oxygen to juke it before I hit warp drive.
yeah, the reawakening of the AI, and that whole part. That was that moment that was for me like, what the hell? Okay, we're doing that right now.
I believe
well,
that Mac said the words "what the hell" when the AI was awakened, and then responded with "Where's S?"
Oh yeah. Anything S does ends up as a what the hell moment I've seen. It's like, oh, S is doing something shady. And then double take, S is doing something shady. And I'm like, yeah, S is doing something shady.
Always.
That's all he does. It's not huge, and I bet it won't be plot important. I bet it won't be plot important. I bet it won't be important to the plot. But the little hijinks with the moss ball have been sort of what the hell. To
Oh,
me,
I love that.
Because I did write
The
into Null's
hallway.
backstory that he had, and the hallway.
The hallway.
The hallway is my
know.
favorite what the hell moment.
So
I think we all like freaked out at the hallway.
So for context, the moss ball is like this moss ball inside a little bottle that Nulodius has in its.
As a pet.
It's kind of blurry there, but yeah, and it has it there in its quarters, but it has been appearing in places it shouldn't be in.
I vote that the next thing that happens to the moss ball is it becomes blurry to the eye. Just like,
I
just like,
can't get
Just
my-
slightly blurry.
I can't get my camera to focus on it. This is actually just a yarn that I made and look like a. I'm gonna derail us for a second. It's a Massimo moss ball, a Marimo moss ball, and you can't get them in Michigan right now because all of them were infected with zebra mussels, which is one of our worst invasive species. So you cannot purchase them in the state of Michigan right now. So I had to make one anyway. Carry
Put
on.
your hand behind it
like a vlogger.
like a vlogger.
Yeah,
It's just a ball.
it's a ball.
Yeah.
That it's been so fun as at the DM being like, okay, does it make sense in the rules that I have put in my back of my head of the moss ball that it will be moved out of its way right now? Yes? Okay, let's move it. Where? Here.
Where is he
The
going?
spacewalk.
The hallway was a hallucination moment of a hallucination, prophecy, divination, who knows, of Melodius just going back to these quarters and then being trapped in a hallway that seemed infinite, and then feeling a presence right behind him.
I think the saddest thing is that I think we lost the spacewalk. I don't know if that was one of the ones for season 2 that we got to keep. But
Oh, no.
that was one of my what the hell moments as a player. And because I'm very concerned.
Spacewalk 1 or Spacewalk 2 when Melodius tried to go out with the broken spacesuit,
No,
or when you went with him?
No, the actual spacewalk, because Spacewalk 1 was just an attempt, but never successful. Spacewalk 2 was when the actual spacewalk happened.
Because I think if we still have it, you can watch me through the whole thing look like I'm about to have a panic attack.
I'm going out there, and you can't stop me.
I'm
And
not
then I
trying to.
immediately stopped him. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to make sure you don't die.
No, like
The first time.
when
The
Noel came to us, it's like, you
hostility.
can't stop me, and he's like, I'm not trying to. I'll help you.
I love that worked with you, but when Mac said, I'm just trying to make sure you don't die, I'm not actually trying to stop you, the hostility was still so palpable that Noel didn't believe him in the slightest.
No, let me go.
No!
So, what are some fun things you have found out about your characters that you didn't plan out? Something for Kay that it was sort of planned out, but had some consequences for others is that they love music a lot, but heavy music. So, just a blaring sound
Oh
for
yeah.
everyone.
And then the
around
whole
them.
having to get the soundproof panelings.
Yeah,
That
fixed.
was funny.
I like that. Most of the characters have their own Spotify playlists
Oh, I need to make nulls.
from back in the first season.
But yeah, what would be the fun
Oh,
things you found out about your characters that you didn't plan out?
The Legionnaire stuff has been a lot of fun. It wasn't fun of oh, that's a cool little tidbit. But learning that, from the memory of hey, there's Legionnaires and being careful, and I'm being warned of it. That has been such a fun moment to have become such an integral thing of I need to be afraid of these people because they were something that I worried about in my previous life. And just seeing how that sprinkles out through S's interactions, that has been a lot of fun.
Sprinkles? Sprinkles? You
Sprinkles?
just shower it.
Oh yeah, no, it's very much a heavy-handed sprinkle. But
It's
it's
me with garlic.
Like a 2-year-old with a sprinkler.
I'm just saying that when you are in such close confined quarters with people that you don't trust, it's gonna be known.
Yeah. I think Mac is also along the lines with the Legionnaires, but one of finding out, because I had planned Mac to look very amalgamate, very put together of scrap parts, which he does on one arm, and on the other looks brand new, which was weird to find out because I had not planned that in the slightest, and Secretary kind of threw that at me. And then to find out how I got the new arm and who was vouching for me and all of these other things, and now I'm on parole. and
You were. Nowadays
I
you're.
was, and then stuff happened, and now I'm not.
All right. Ray.
Oh,
I was just gonna prompt for your answer.
what?
I was just gonna prompt for your answer.
Ah, yes. I need no prompting. You can't get me to shut up. Honestly, since I did not relinquish the reins a ton to Sekrin, there hasn't been anything unexpected, I guess, that Null has learned about himself. But what I have enjoyed is the sort of fishtail nature of him finding out more about his role on the ship, because originally I wrote it was like, yeah, he has a background in botany and ecology, and then it's like he has a doctorate in botany and ecology, and it's like he is the head scientist of botany and ecology on the ship. He is the bridge crew scientist of botany and ecology. That has been fun, and then particularly seeing because like I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what a science a bridge science officer's job would be, and I simply ignored it. So that is a choice Nelodius made as well. And then coming and getting chewed out by someone was so incredibly fun. That was very cool.
That was
I enjoyed that a lot.
very
That was
fun to
so
watch
fun.
as well.
That was so fun.
All right. There's now a question for Sekrain.
Oh.
Sekrain, do you lie awake at night, coming up with ways to mess with the players?
No. Okay, I not lie awake in the night, but I'm taking a shower and I'm having conversations with the NPCs, figuring out ideas. I'm cooking, and I do that too. While I was working, because I switched to working in the office for a bit, but while I was working in my home, there would be moments that I'm like waiting for a document or something that is just like waiting, and I'm thinking about like ideas, and it's not. Am I looking to mess with my players? Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
lie. I'm a DM. I know what it is.
Yeah, but mostly it's like what can be surprising, what can lead to something good for the players, and then like the story, what seems both fun and causes tension, and how can this tension be solved later on or in the moment.
Not the hallway again, Zekri.
I mean,
Please bring back the hallway. I miss it.
We all miss the hallway.
I do not miss
But-
the scary hallway.
Oh, there's things waiting for Nelodius.
At the end of the hallway?
Oh,
Well,
good.
I mean, there's things that are waiting for Mac too.
Apparently.
There's things waiting for everyone, and one of the things that has been, I would love to say like I'm just like scheming, like 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 doing a
Run
voice like
sound
that.
by us again.
But honestly, my 90% of my mood when planning is just like, oh god, how can I need to tie this up here.
Professor Xavier.
I'm just like help me. Trying to place it so everyone gets like their piece every now and then.
I think that we got a little bit of a backwards wording on this one for the next question. Are there things about other PCs that your character knows but the PCs don't? I'm assuming that it's supposed to be that the PC knows but the characters don't. Which is funny because I think we touched
Yeah.
on this in another question. Me and Ray went back and forth on a lot of our characters together. So there's a lot of things that the two of us know about each other's characters that the characters don't know yet, and that other people don't know either.
I do not know if it is that way the question, or if it's like player characters know
So-
things about other player characters.
About other player characters.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can tell you that Unfortunately, she's here. But Kay knows things about Mac that I still have to make myself a sticky note to write that down.
S also knows those same things.
About Mac, I've sent it to you too now.
Yep.
He knows
about
about
Mac
the
that
other
Mac
characters a bit
doesn't
more.
know.
Okay, the only one that I don't think the player characters know too much about is S, because S doesn't really have a lot on file for reasons. But S also recently told a lot of his background to Noel, or at least as much as he knows, in as vague ways as possible, because that's S. Why would S be upfront and straight about anything?
Right.
I like that HIPAA is more of a suggestion on this ship.
Really?
It-
'Cause
we're in
it was
fantasy,
Kay
it's
that
fine.
sent the file to S, and then nobody sent the file to Mac.
Well, okay, no. It's a little bit different. Kay asked S to help with the file, so S has been breaking into Kay's office to fix that every night. Until it happened. And then S went through everything and then sent the file of, hey, you were on parole, to Sky from his own thing of breaking in.
And that was it?
Yeah, so, like, it's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
You're on
about it.
parole.
You were on parole. Here's your room number.
Happens.
So yeah, so it wasn't that S was sent the file. S was asked for his skill set to be utilized, and he did it.
He has a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
Look, I think S is the only one who's really aware that Mac is, on top of being a chain smoker, is an alcoholic.
Yeah. Because I was,
Because we roomed together for a while.
and you
Yeah.
can't. The moment that you found the flask, I want to say that you ended up coming over to S.
Oh, yeah. He had a full panic attack because that was the first of the verdant sun memories that he does not like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it wasn't just immediately. You had the panic attack in your room and then afterwards, because that was the same night that S found his
The data pad.
No, it wasn't the data pad. S found his collar after he was
Oh,
looking
it was
for
the
it.
collar.
Yeah, because that was the first thing that S really remembered when he tried to remember his name. He got such an absurdly high roll that he also remembered that collar, and it just ate his mind up. So as he was looking through his room, and he found all these other things that he had hidden, but he could not find the collar until that night. He also had a panic attack just holding on to this, but his panic attack was not like, all these horrible memories. It was just like, this is it. Why do I have this? And just going down, spiraling from there in a stupor.
Mac was just spiraling into just a full existential crisis.
All right.
So, next question is, how much of your PC's memories have come back?
Not
Are
enough.
there important information that you're keeping from others? S
Yes.
is keeping a lot of information hidden. I would say Nulodius is keeping some things. I do not know if it would be important or not. Oh,
It's
okay,
not
well, I do
necessarily that
know
he's
if it's-
keeping things for the sake of being secretive. It's that he's currently working on some stuff. He's like, I want to be sure about this before I go and make an idiot of myself, like with the manuscripts, the notes
Oh,
he
yeah,
had on his
'cause you
typewriter
just found that
computer,
out.
his journal. Yeah, he wants to figure out what's going on with that, but he's I think he's been pretty open about most of the stuff he's remembered. He doesn't have a tragic backstory like everyone else. He was just a privileged kid who went to college for a long time.
Yeah,
Call S a tragic backstory.
No?
Maybe what happened before S was a tragic backstory, but not S.
Okay.
I would say there's definitely stuff about Mac that I don't know and that he hasn't remembered yet, like the fact that what was it? He was one of the older models of Android. He was one of the oldest models of Androids.
That was
I wouldn't
kind of
say, like,
insinuous.
oldest.
That
It
was
was insinuate.
yeah.
Yeah, that
It
was
hasn't been
weird.
confirmed that. It's just like, hey, did you look somewhat old, probably, but it hasn't
he's
been confirmed.
old.
Hey, you look old.
There's
Yeah,
What's up
somebody was
with
like, "You look
that?"
old," and that was very weird.
There
'cause
is
Mac
one.
doesn't actually know how old he is.
Speaking of like how old and starts and things like that, there is one piece of information that has not come forward about S's backstory yet that I really want, and I'm sure that Sekran knows what it is. Especially given some theories that may have come up earlier in this session, or this video live stream. But there's one piece of information that I absolutely want, and it's not out yet, so I can't really talk about it.
There's
Like,
a lot of
I actually
coins
think I know what it is.
in the air. I'll need to ask you if it's like what exactly is, because I'll ask you what is it, and not be like, is this the same? Because if I don't want to show what is on my hand nearby.
I can just send you a quick message. You're
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my
I
top
think
people.
something that has from Kay's part, I think she hasn't said how old they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing, but probably they're also transparent. Don't have much, and yeah, notice not like they're hiding it. It's just like I need to figure this out before saying it to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Mac is also not exactly hiding it, but there are also just some things that he's not talking about, whether by choice or just because nobody's asked.
And there's also some things that just happened very recently that just there hasn't been the time for you guys
It
to
hasn't
say
been the
like,
time. Like he hasn't done. He sent a message to us about the woman that he talked to from the previous,
Oh yeah.
and he hasn't followed up on that yet because now we have another season to do that in.
Oh yeah. The fact that
So-
apparently I'm the scary one.
Yeah, you're the scary one.
yeah, for that pirate, yeah. So next question: does S know more about other characters because he was asked to hack into the files? No, exactly.
I don't believe I was asked to hack into the files except for Max, because I don't know the password to my computer and I need this file. I think that was the only time I was asked to hack into the files. And I don't go out searching information for everybody, unless I am asked for it.
You don't work for free.
Exactly. But no, I think what has been happening most for S when it comes to his hacking is figuring out who is deleting those files. Which I think is
That-
those stupid pirates.
It might be the stupid pirates, but also the theory that it's the ship forgetting, because the ship seems to be
No,
partially
no,
organic.
this is not it. It was actively being deleted. It was actively being deleted. It wasn't like the same. It was a different trace.
a-
I remember that.
Yeah, it was actively being deleted because we had the theory that the ship was forgetting, and then you found out that it was actively being deleted. The only person I could think that could actively delete something from that hardware and software is Addie or the captain.
I mean, I don't think so, because I'm able to access those same records and I'm able to view them. So I have access to them, and if I wanted to interact with them, I think I could. So someone else of S's level is getting into these, and it could be the captain.
Mhm.
Captain has all these, overrides and stuff like that. He can be doing it legally, unlike me.
Yeah, unlike you, there's definitely the illegal option of S and hackers doing it, or it could just be like Kay said earlier, we found something and somebody's hiding it, and it could be the captain, who we still haven't found.
Yeah, you just do not know where it is. It doesn't seem to be in the ship.
We gotta go check
And-
the first officer's room.
Yeah.
Oh my god! If that is the first thing you guys do the next session,
Yeah,
Uh.
drop everything. We have to go check out this guy's room.
Right? So, if an explosion happened and you can only save one person, who is it and why? And a follow-up question to that, is it the same person from season 1 and season 2? I've already answered this question because I saved Noel from an explosion. That's how we met him.
yeah, that was the first 10 minutes of the first episode.
Um,
Of
What
the
can
whole
I say? I
thing.
like to make an impression.
I think, for S, Probably, yeah. It would still be null. And shortly below null would probably be K. Sorry, Matt.
Oh, thank you. I love that I'm last.
Well, technically, every unnamed NPC is last because I let a man die. I really don't care.
You did. I do know about that. You did, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
S is a figure that they have hierarchy in their relationships. There are people that they care about more, and they are very much, calculating how much risk, how much worth, is this going to be a high risk situation for a low reward. S is not a good person. But there are people that Ash cares about, and he'd do things for them. So I think for reasons unknown to S, Null is at the top. For reasons known to S, K is very close to Null. And Sky, with Mac, is also up there. Like, he'd put effort into saving each of you, just perhaps not the same amount. But there are people that he would absolutely leave in the dust, and, well, I think we can name 2 of them.
Vahivel is like right below Mac though.
Vahivel and Mac probably occupy the same space.
Oh, the same space? Oh, okay.
So in a case where it'd be having to choose between the 2 of you, S would not make a decision, and unfortunately both of you would die.
Okay, cool.
Oh
Glad to
no.
know. I'll say Vahivel in that case, that's fine.
I'll slave myself.
Yeah.
Say myself and Vahivel.
If it comes down to a choice, and the choice is too equal, oftentimes S will just not make a choice. So that would be that question for me.
I know for season 1, Mac would probably have picked S, because there is he likes
Attraction?
S. There was that, but also S was just on that same weird level of shady and shifty that was like, there's something about this one that I could like get behind, and something I can work with this. I don't like Null, and Kate is kind of a goody two shoes, and I'm not a good person.
I really just have a whole party of bastards. K is the only good one.
Kate is the only good one. But yeah, now going into at the end of season 2, that decision is a lot harder now.
So
And it's definitely Kay is up there at the top at 1 for Mac, because there is that like she is in charge. She is the captain.
well, that hasn't been announced yet. It's
It hasn't been announced, but Mac, beyond all shadow of doubt, that's his captain now. Whoever is the captain doesn't matter. Hay's in charge in Mac's mind, and then it's taking up with like S, and then right after is Null. But maybe leaving him in the airlock on the way out.
I want to say that I wrote, and I don't know why I thought about this just now, but I want to think that I wrote down Vampire Captain as one of my notes when we had found the first officer. And now I have to go back to see if I actually did write that. Because I think that was...
We found the weird scratch in the floor.
Yeah,
So, does Mac know the identities of the other pirates?
Mac knows the identity of 2 pirates. He knows the ish. I'm gonna put an asterisk. Kind of. He can identify 2 pirates. The one that he's been talking to, and if you put him in front of the captain, he can point at the person and go, "That's the captain," but he has no idea what their name is.
no, we got the captain's name.
He did.
No, but Mac doesn't. The one that
But Mac
got the
doesn't.
name is K and
K
S.
has the name, and Mac
K
does
and
not
S.
have the name.
I was like, I know that I have the name. I got that information somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay, we didn't... That's right! We decided not to tell Mac.
You
Yeah,
guys,
that
there's
you're
there's
actively
a
keeping
whole
information from
slew
Mac.
of background information from Mac that he does not know because you're actively keeping it from him.
Yeah, because you'd have a full ass panic attack.
Just like last time.
Okay, so
Among
talking
Us.
about panic attacks, what are some of the story threats that are coming up in the next few episodes that you're most excited about?
Getting my ass chewed out about that fucking pirate.
Season 3, episode 1, baby.
Well, episode
Within
30.
the first 10 minutes.
Going forward, it's just gonna be episodes. So episode 30. Great way to start off.
I'm very excited to pull on the loose little thread of the void being like, hey, you should be captain. I think that will be very fun. I can't wait to run a smear campaign against Kay.
That's going
Oh.
to
Hey, how
be
you
very
doing?
interesting.
I-
Especially for S's position with both people on that.
I am
finding-
so looking forward for New Lodia's part because they're I cannot say anything. I'm gonna shut myself.
I cannot say.
You can tell me, I'll keep the
hidden
secret.
pirates amongst the crew and the people on the ship, because it's become obvious to Mac that there are members of his former ship, the Verdant Sun, on this ship now. And he does not know where they are or what they're planning or what is happening, and he's gonna try to figure that out. So Mac's past coming back to haunt him when he doesn't remember it is a story thread that I will be looking forward to pulling on.
Also, god damn, I'm looking forward to see how you guys deal with the NPCs of the ship and how they deal with you. Like, with
Well-
stuff coming up,
well-
what is going to be direction?
We know how one doesn't really care for S right now, because they're afraid. Which I am very proud of. Like I said, with the last memory that we played through, S does have a brutal side. He does not like going to it as a first option. I like to play S a lot as a feral animal. In the fact that
It's an accurate description.
he's going about his own business, but if he feels cornered, he will lash out. And he's dangerous when he is backed into a corner. It's S is very interesting. I love him a lot.
I
I like him too.
like him too. He's very, very interesting to play off of, especially with Mac's personality of the big, like, friend-shaped bear who's definitely eating out of the trash can.
All bears
And
are
you-
friend shaped.
I
Yeah, but you're like,
imagine
yeah,
Matt.
that's a bear, but also like that bear doesn't seem quite bright.
I imagine with a bear adjacent is the article of the bears eating the fermented apples and getting drunk. That's Mac.
Yeah, that's Mac. He's
I mean,
just a drunk bear.
that is still better than how was it? The cocaine bear?
Cocaine bear, yep.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
cocaine bear.
bear.
Now we've got
Ah,
cocaine
yes,
shark.
the cocaine bear.
I have
Yeah.
found out that there's actually cocaine crabs from outer space recently.
There's a whole
Just to
novella.
Bring us back to space.
There's a whole novella thing about crabs, and them being killer.
I'm so happy.
The CCU, the Cocaine Cinematic Universe.
All right. Do we have any other questions from chat?
Please ask questions so we get off of
I-
this.
On my we ran to some of the questions I already had. Some were also asked by chat, so I'm like, okay, that covers it. There's no need to bring them again.
Here, I'll do it. I'm technically in chat.
Okay. We're just gonna.
Bam.
Ah.
What
Ah.
are the character's favorite colors? Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
what the
actually something I would have
favorite
liked to know from K
colors?
too. Okay, you guys go ahead.
Lilac.
What? Really? That's adorable.
He likes purple.
Mac. Ooh. Shockingly, Mac likes red, like burgundy. It's the color of
Does
his
not
coat.
surprise me.
It's his coat color.
I was about to make a really snarky comment of S also likes purple. But no. I would say that if S actually has a if S actually has a favorite color, it would probably
It's not pink.
no.
Yeah.
I don't think S has a favorite color, honestly. If we think about, because like if I'm thinking about S's existence, it's been often a lot of survival and not really any moments of enjoying things. So I
I
would
don't
say
have time to like colors.
I would say that for reasons, S probably also favors a lilac purple.
Aw.
For reasons.
Oh,
What?
chat's
What?
getting into it.
What do you guys think K's favorite color is actually?
It's that fluorescent purple that whatever Squishy's normal color
Oh, yeah.
is.
Yes.
Squishy.
Squishy is
Or
her
like,
favorite color.
A duochrome of like purple and green,
Like a fuchsia.
Yeah.
like bug.
All right. I know that we've got 2 other questions here. Why don't we do a quick lightning round, but then we will have to finish out. What is an aspect of your character that you are looking forward to exploring? S's origin. S's origin. That's it for me.
Smear campaign.
Oh, God.
Mike's the darker side of Mac.
All right. Any NPC aspects we're looking from Game Master?
Oh,
Lightning. It's lightning round. If you don't have anything, we're moving on.
the captain.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, is he
And-
alive?
We actually have described our quarters, but I think that was in
The lost episode.
in a lost episode. So
I have pictures. I
Yeah.
modeled Null's quarters. I'll put them in the Discord.
yeah. So we can get a recap of that at a later time because, as I said,
Yeah.
those
I
are
think
pretty
may-
lengthy answers for.
Maybe next session when we get into someone's quarters, I'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
describe your quarters again.
It'd be nice to have
Yeah.
those on archive, but
Yeah.
our time here is coming to an end. Thank you to everyone in the chat for coming in. Thank you to all of our lovely players and our game master for coming here as well. And you can catch us in the next stream, which will be here, Little Witch RP. Otherwise, head over to Little Witch RP, check us out on the website, consider giving a donation on our Ko-fi. I don't have his link for that yet, but it will be coming. All other fun stuff that we've got going on. And join us in our Discord. You can chat to us, you can jump in games, all sorts of fun things, and yeah, we'll see you guys all later. Bye!
Bye.